Well, welcome yourselves back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy JD. I hope you've all had a great day. I hope you've all had a great start to your week. In this video, we will be taking a look at this lovely, stunning and brave influencer who live streams themselves at restaurants because they have now posted a video of all the times they have been misgendered. Get the violins out. A BBC presenter has now warned, yes, warned that science should not just be done by white European men. I mean, how dare they? How dare they, right? Forget about diversity, equity and inclusion. Shame on you. Family Guy have become the next TV show to take a few shots at Meghan and Harry. Not that it's too hard, right? And then finally, would you lie about your political beliefs just to secure a date? We'll be discussing it all in this video, but before we do, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating as it really helps out the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Comment on this video, share this video. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, buckle up and let's get into it. So we have this very progressive streamer who tends to live stream themselves in restaurants because apparently that's enjoyable to watch, each to their own, I guess, but they are also known for making a huge song and dance about getting misgendered at these restaurants. Some of you may recognize this person. We actually covered a video that also went viral of a couple of teenage boys walking past and misgendering them. They called him sir, he corrected them, there was a debate, but now we have a highlight reel, let's call it, of all the times they have been misgendered at restaurants. Have you got the violins out yet? No, can you get them out after this clip? Take a watch.
It looks like he's having a nice feast.
She, her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
But it was not all good.
Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Okay. The Sweetwater starts at okay.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir.
Oh, okay.
It just really sucks every time it happens.
Sorry about that.
I don't need to be called ma'am. I just need to not be called sir, you know? Thank you. Did you call me sir? Hey, I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir.
What?
Called me sir.
Oh.
It's just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
Very good. Thank you so much. No, oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm not a sir. Nothing like a good misgendering. It is a knife in the gut when I get called sir. I feel like I need to tell him. I need to tell him that hurt. It hurts more though, and it's not intentional because it means like this is sir to him. I know you didn't mean it, but I'm not a sir.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. It's just, you know, it hurts. I know when people clock me, it's fine, but like it does kind of hurt. Thank you. I'm not sir.
Oh, sorry.
Not sir. Not sir. But the guy who dropped the food off, he called me sir twice in a row.
Okay. I'll let him know that and
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, we all like attention, right, in some way, shape or form, but it's clear to see others might just like it that little bit more. Not that little bit, a lot more. You know, I tend to say this quite a bit when we see these videos of people reacting in this way to getting misgendered. It's not everybody else's fault that you've made how you identify your whole personality, right? So when you turn up to these restaurants or wherever it may be and people don't reaffirm your beliefs, of course, you're going to get very emotional, very angry because you're not used to people not conforming to your worldview. This is the real world. And these waiters are busy, right? We've all been to restaurants. We all know how hectic it can get. The last thing they need is somebody turning up to their restaurant, which this person knows this situation is going to go down. The last thing they need is somebody correcting them and getting a little power trip out of it just because they might have used the word sir. I mean, how are they even supposed to know? By the way, there are so many pronouns now. I mean, you could be using, I don't know, they/them or ze/them. It's all a little bit confusing, isn't it? And playing the victim has become so so boring now. This victimhood society almost sends me to sleep. It really does, so much so it might actually fix my sleeping pattern. Self-entitlement installed by leftist liberal mindsets also ends up causing these situations. You know, when you see these videos of liberals kicking, screaming, shouting because they've been misgendered, it's because they've been told they're constantly in the right and everyone and everywhere is oppressing you. Right, so you're completely justified to act in any way, shape or form when you feel like you've been oppressed and that person or this person, you aren't conforming to their individual reality. How dare they do such a thing? Did they not know that misgendering is the biggest crime? Again, welcome to the real world. So just this morning, I came across this article and it really doesn't surprise me because this sort of rhetoric has become the normalized talking point within the mainstream media, within social media. You can literally say anything and you've all seen it as long as it comes underneath the umbrella of diversity, equity and inclusion. However, if the shoe is on the other foot, then... well, then everyone loses their minds. It's all very hypocritical and again, you know, it's just another way to enforce a victimhood society. The Telegraph report, BBC presenter warns against science being just done by European white guys. Woman who made history as show's first black presenter says without diversity we may get a blinkered view of the world. Ah yeah, because the DEI agenda has never caused a blinkered view of the world. No, absolutely not. Never. The presenter of The Sky at Night has warned that science being all just done by European white guys may lead to a blinkered view of the world. Dr. Maggie Adarin-Pocock has fronted the BBC's long-running astronomy program since 2014, making history as its first black presenter. The astronomer and physicist has called for greater diversity in scientific fields, speaking in The Observer. She said, "When I grew up, there were many kids who looked at science and thought, well, someone like me doesn't do that because it's not my culture, it's not for me. I don't have a history of this. Diversity is about bringing different ideas and people into science because if it's all just done by European white guys, we get a very blinkered view of the world." And, you know, if that was just the other way round, oh boy. Well, then everyone loses their minds. Dr. Adarin-Pocock has written a guide to astronomy, The Art of Stargazing, which highlights contributions to the field from ancient figures who were not white men in togas. Doesn't sound racist at all. But here we have, once again, diversity wanting to be forced when you can't force diversity, because just like any industry, especially science, you need the best of the best, right? You don't want somebody who doesn't have the skill operating in science, because when you allow diversity to be at the forefront, quality always decreases. We see this all the time because you're hiring people with a thought process and the agenda of, well, how does this make our company look, instead of looking at people and how knowledgeable, how skillful they are, how well are they going to do the job. And when you act in that way, you're acting in the ways of exclusion, not inclusion, because as we know, inclusion really means exclusion. And you won't hire people just because what, their skin color doesn't make your company look good. Too many white people. She also claims things need to move faster. While she hopes to help readers realize that astronomy might be for them, she has expressed concerns that diversifying science professions may not be happening quickly enough. She said, "I think it is, but things need to move faster. There are still the dinosaurs who are all, women don't do science, what are you talking about? But I also think those dinosaurs are dying out and there is opportunity. And that's where I've been lucky being black and female with the timing." In 2021, the Royal Society warned that people from black backgrounds in science, technology, engineering or maths higher education in the UK have poorer degree outcomes and lower rates of academic career progression than other ethnic groups. Right, well there's the issue in itself then. The courses aren't completed. If more and more courses had a higher completion rate, maybe people would be getting the jobs, right? That's not the industry's fault, that's not anybody else's fault, that is the individual's fault. But I guess accountability is a dying trend, like those dinosaurs she mentions. What a way to put it, by the way, the dinosaurs are dying off. Imagine if a white dude or a white woman said that. As soon as the article was published, the next second, not the next minute, the next second, there would be protests in the street. You know, if people aren't interested into things like astronomy, right, you can't force it. As much as you would love to, you can't force it. And I would say partly it's not even people's fault, because social media, the mainstream media, especially the entertainment industry, tells people, wait, don't be interested in those things, be interested in these things, the materialistic things, and push people down a certain road. But again, if courses aren't being completed, whose fault is that? You know, if they complete the course, they get a higher grade, higher chance of getting one of these jobs you want people to be in. Whose fault is that? Oh yeah, the white man. I forgot. But Meghan and Harry, what a lovely, lovely couple, right? I tell you now, every time I see them, just like everybody else, I am filled with so much joy, and we don't roll our eyes every time they speak. No, not at all. South Park recently took shots at Meghan and Harry in an episode, all to do with privacy. We want privacy, yet they constantly find themselves in the limelight. Funny that, isn't it? You know, these TV shows really do have an easy time of mocking these two because of how insufferable they have become, and Family Guy now have joined the group with this little clip in an episode they aired not too long ago. Take a watch.
Fine, I'll go it alone, just like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
Sir, your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post for Del Taco.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
Now, I will say, and I think probably most of you are thinking it, right, that was pretty tame compared to the South Park one. When I first heard that Family Guy had mocked Meghan and Harry, I thought they'd be pretty out there with their jokes, but no, this was pretty lighthearted for them. However, I do think they portrayed Meghan Markle pretty well. You know, she's about the money and will always be about the money. Although Harry says, you know, I should never have left, that made up nonsense, what I get from that is, you know, Meghan Markle is so annoying, so frustrating that he wishes he was still a part of that made up nonsense, then still be around her. It's better than being around her. You know, she is always pressuring him, from what I see and many others see, you know, to get that money shot. We have to be in the public eye, whether it be in person or that Instagram post, to get the money. And it's probably how he genuinely feels, right? But, you know, it's the path he took. He disrespected his family, and actions have consequences. We all know this. You made your bed, now you lie in it. But for our last and final story of the day, ladies and gentlemen, and it's quite an interesting one, a post on X managed to get a lot of traction after somebody shared a conversation they were having with a girl on a dating app, and they said that they were upset about having to lie about their political beliefs in the hope, just maybe, things might progress and they might get a date. As you can see on your screen, they go on to say, I hate lying about my political views for the sake of dating. The girl in the conversation says, let's talk about politics. By the way, nobody laughs like that. I always find it weird when people talk like that on text, because nobody does that in real life. He goes on to say, lol, heavy topic. What do you want to know? I'm not a Republican, if that's your worry. I wasn't actually worried about you being a Republican. It's the moderates that are a greater concern. They seem to think that neutrality is an option, or that objectivity in political situations, which are always also deeply personal, exist. I'm a center-left Democrat, he says. I'm pro-choice, pro-gay marriage, support racial justice. Not gonna lie, I'm not as liberal as you. Oh boy. And this made a lot of noise because it just shows you the level of desperation people may be at now within the dating market, that people have to lie about silly things like this, and the scarcity mindset is more apparent than ever. You know, people seem to think when they get into these conversations with women or men that this person is the one for them. I can't lose this person. I need to get this date. And they end up lying about themselves. They end up lying about who they are when you shouldn't, you know, because when you do that, you're already starting the relationship, potential relationship, who knows, based off a lie. And in weeks to come, that person is going to find out and conflict will arise. You know, especially for this guy here talking to this woman. If he said right from the get-go, you know, actually we don't align on certain things, and he walked away from the conversation, in that moment, that guy walking away from the conversation, she's going to respect him more and potentially see him as a high-value man. Then, you know, in weeks to come, she finds out he's been lying. Then she'll see him as weak and insecure, and she'll think, well, he doesn't even have the confidence to tell me how he really feels. And you'll end up single, back to the drawing board, and wishing you never lied in the first place. There is no need to lie. If you're trying to find a woman out there, trying to find a man, do not lie. There's no point. The right person will eventually come along. There's no way I would lie about my political beliefs just so I might get a date. You know, just tell them how you really feel. If we didn't align on something, I'm walking away and there's somebody right around the corner for me. You know, that's how you should act. There are plenty of people out there, and people putting people on a pedestal they don't even know, and you shouldn't put people on a pedestal anyway, but people doing this shows me that they have a lot of inner work to do, because, you know, you're not secure in yourself, you have low self-esteem, and you don't respect yourself, which can link to an anxious attachment style, and that's probably not that person's fault. But, you know, before you get into a relationship, especially as a man, I really do feel like you should be secure and confident in yourself. That's how I feel, and I'd be embarrassed if I acted like that. I'm not gonna lie, that might be a bit harsh, but That's just how I really feel. I do think the level of desperation now within dating is just very cringeworthy to watch. But that is the end of the video. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you felt with all the topics that we discussed. What are your thoughts? If you have enjoyed today, make sure to leave a like rating, as it really helps out the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Share this video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.